The 9 positive attitude pillars to success. Positive attitude number 1. Learn to focus on the good or positive in yourself. The reason this is so important is because low self-confidence and self-esteem are at the root of most people's problems. Studies have shown that up to 95% of the population have suffered from some sort of inferiority complex. Almost every one of us has felt that we're not good enough at some point, maybe even given up on something or not tried to get what we really wanted because we felt inferior. Some people get so wrapped up in this fear, these feelings of inadequacy, that they wind up taking a back seat in their own life. When a great opportunity arises, they make excuses, seemingly logical sometimes, but really rooted in this constant fear that they are simply not good enough. The results of living your life in fear are frustration, unhappiness, tension, and a host of many other symptoms. So why do these feelings of inferiority occur? If it happens to 95% of the population, then obviously these inferior feelings don't happen because of actual inferiority. When we feel we're not good enough, it's not because we're actually incapable, it's because we're afraid. So where does this fear come from? There are many reasons, but the most common is, as children we are told that we're not good enough. This can be direct or indirect, intentional or unintentional, but most people who suffer from severe inferiority were berated or punished as children more often than they were rewarded or complimented. This could be from a teacher, a sibling, but the most damaging and most common culprits are usually the parents. This is rarely because parents are trying to give their children inferiority complexes or beat down their self-esteem, but simply because people often don't seem to recognize how suggestible children are. Have you ever seen a hypnosis act where people can be made to believe the most implausible things? That is about how suggestible a child is in that state. They absorb everything and anything you tell them about the world around them. They're looking through new eyes without any preconceived notions or doubts, and they are building a synopsis and self-image that will forever shape how they see the world and themselves within it. If they are told repeatedly that they are wrong or bad, and never or hardly ever told that they are right and good, then they most likely will carry that self-perspective with them throughout their entire lives. A negative image leads to negative action, and when the person behaves in a negative way, it convinces him that he is a low or bad person, which this leads to even more negative actions. This vicious cycle repeats over and over again throughout their lives, unless the habits are broken. Now, how do we break out of this vicious cycle? Well, click on the first pillar to find out how to break out of this vicious cycle, and as well, click on the description link to access your free, valuable gifts. Talk to you soon.